Hello and welcome to Victoriana. It's the 19th of March, so we're a couple of days off the first day of spring and we've got snow, which I think just about everyone else has as well. So as I say, yeah, we're a little bit late with our March clip, so this is going to be our March and April clip. We've been very busy on production, which is why we haven't got around to doing video clips or stuff like that. And as I say, we got snow on the ground, which makes a little bit of joke of the gardening magazines and people that say it's too late for bare roots at the end of March, because obviously this year particularly, bare roots going to be able to go right on until end of April easily, because we're just so late this year. But as I say, we've been very busy, and I'll give you a quick run around the nursery. Here in the prop, we're pretty full up. This is the last batch of chilies here. The rest of them have gone out into the main bubble now. Under the covers over there are tomatoes, and under the covers through the middle, all sorts of things: perennials, veg, some exotics, just everything really. So we've got a rare piece of space over there that Steve is actually filling up at the moment as he's potting the chilies for Chili Festival, and the starting of that is there. As I say, that's Chili Festival underway there. And then moving on from there, over there we've got some Poncirus from seed and some tamarinds, one or two other things as well. So yeah, this little bit of space is constantly on the move, and very rarely has any space in it at all. But we get an awful lot through here. It's quite impressive what we can actually produce in this little bit of space. So here in the main part of the bubble, we're pretty full as well. Got all our main chilies out now, all our main chilies for sale, and aubergines too. They're now out on the open bench. And then through the rest of the benches in here, we've got everything from perennials to young veg, lots and lots of herbs planted up, potted up, all ready to go into the top house when we've got some space there. And yeah, pretty much everything. Production is really underway now, and the house is full. But it needs to be, because we've had temperatures down to -10, and when you consider that we heat this house to 8 Celsius, that means that our boilers have been giving us an 18-degree lift, which doesn't come too cheaply. So when people sometimes say plants are expensive, well, you have to remember that actually the production costs are high too, and this year hasn't been a cheap year for us on production. But I can't moan. We've done very well. We've got an awful lot underway, and very pleased indeed. So up here in the top house, we're pretty well rammed to the gunnels. We've already got some veg outside, some young veg. I'll do a quick whiz round. They're over there somewhere under snow. So they're the first ones that are already going out now, young plants. So they are fully hardened off. That's why they're covered in snow. But yeah, up here in the top house, as I say, we're rammed to the gunnels. We've got a lot of stuff that we'd like to get outside. There's a lot of brassicas and things all the way down this side, but they need another week or so in here, and then obviously hardened off and out they go. But this is causing us issues in the bubble, because we're full up with stuff over there as well, and this little cold snap has sort of put pay to everything moving round and going out as we'd normally would. So bit of a queue going on here and there at the moment. And similarly here in the veg tunnel, same as the bubble, same as the greenhouse, we're stuffed right full. We're in the middle of potting up our grapes. We like to give them a little bit of protection until the weather cheers up, see them break into growth, and it speeds them up rooting out obviously. But yeah, an awful lot of this soft fruit, it's time for it to come out, or should be. All this bit prove hardy in the ground, but as it's in containers, we like to give it just a sniff of protection in here. And usually we'd be moving out by now, but I think that's going to be a job for next week if the weather now decides to cheer up. But it's got to go somewhere, because we've got stuff to come in here. Out here on the veg garden, we haven't really done an awful lot. Siberian onions are happy out here. as is the rhubarb actually. But yeah, no, we haven't done an awful lot at all. We're still lifting saffron crocus, and Dan managed to get a new Chinese artichoke bed in, so that's all planted, and prepped an area for some horseradish as well. But as I say, that's about it out here. The spuds are chitting, but obviously it's way too early for them to be coming out at the moment. And similarly, in the prop, Dan and Claire have got lots of seeds sown of all sorts of bits and pieces for out here, but we just need it to warm up a little bit. Out here on the beds, we're a bit empty. We're actually just starting to move our potted fruit. The fruit that we potted just after Christmas is coming back out onto the beds now, and we're having a tidy up and going to start thinking about pulling shrubs out and straightening everything up for Easter. Easter's a traditional time when the gardening season starts for many people, but obviously this year, with it being quite early and winter being a little bit late, that might not be the case. But as I've always said, you garden with the seasons, not with the calendar. So it'll be fine if things are late this year. But yeah, so quite a bit of tidying up to do out here, and quite a lot of stocking up to do as well. And hopefully we'll be there in time for Easter. So I'll finish off our March-April clip, or spring clip if that's what you want to call it, up here in what was the vineyard. We've actually taken the decision to pull everything out up here and start again. The reason being twofold really. One was that over the winter we've had some rabbit damage in here, so we'd lost quite a few vines. And the other issue was that many of the vines that were in here, that we planted in here, had spent many years in pots and containers before we'd got the area ready for the vineyard, and were just too pot bound. And they've had a year or so to try and break away, but they haven't broken into growth. So we've taken the decision to start all over again. And I think long term it will be a good decision. But gives us a job that we need to get on with just as soon as the weather starts to cheer up a little bit. But as I've said, we're very busy all round, and so we'll catch up with you as soon as we can.